I request our class president to lead the Christian prayer. Amen. And may I request Noor to lead the Muslim prayer? Okay class, please remain standing because we will having our energizer. So class, I want each one of you to dance. Am I clear? Very good class. Before you sit down, I want you to pick up some pieces of trashes and arrange your chairs properly in a count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, thank you kids. You may now take your seat. Good morning class. Good morning class. Okay, so how was your night class? How was your sleep? How was your morning? Did you eat your breakfast? Oh, me? I'm fine, thank you. And now, class, let's check your attendance. If your surname is called, please say, hooray! Great, class! Perfect attendance! Okay, class, before we formally start to our very interesting discussion, I want you to remember first our class agreement. First, if I speak, you must be listen. Second, raise your right hand if you want to ask some questions. And third, no bullying. Again, no bullying class. I don't want you to bully your classmates. Am I clear? And now class, we have our assignment, right? Okay, so I want you to pass it in front silently. Understood? Okay class, let's have a review first. Who can tell me what was our lesson yesterday? Yes, Nikki? Very good. Our lesson yesterday was all about matter. So who can give me the definition of matter? Yes, Kenneth? Very good. Matter is anything that occupies space and has mass. At this juncture, we will have a game activity called Your Ball, Your Answer. Okay class, I have here a round object. So, who can tell me what is this? I am very sure class that all of you is so very familiar of this. Monica? Very good. This is a virus. This is a coronavirus, which is the most dangerous virus that spread all over the world. Okay class, so you will going to do is Teacher Hazel will going to play a music and this coronavirus ball will be passed to each of you. So you will going to pass it as if you don't want to catch a virus. And if the music stops, the student who handed or who got this coronavirus ball will be asked a question. Understood? Okay, so are you ready class? Okay, so let's begin our game activity.
Ready for the song in 1 or 2 or 3. Then sit properly. Science is ready.
Okay, Andrea, you got the coronavirus ball. Stand up. So my question for you is, I have here a paper. I want this paper be changed. So, how will you going to do and able to have a changes on this paper? Very good, true? Cutting or folding it. So, when we cut or fold the paper, what changes occurs? Yes? Very good. It changed the shape and size. And by that, let's give an approved clap to Andrea. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, approve. Okay class, so let's continue our game.
Lessons are all new. All you have to do, listen to your teacher to learn something new.
Okay, Angelo, you got the coronavirus ball. So please stand up. Okay, so my question for you is, I have here an ice cream. I want this ice cream be changed. So how will you going to do and able to have a changes on this ice cream? Very good, true. Melting it. So, the ice cream is a solid. And when it melts, it becomes liquid. Very good. And by that, let's give an approved clap to Angela. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Approve. Okay, class, let's continue.
Hey, science time, oh it's science time. Be ready, it's more fun, more activities.
Francine, you got the coronavirus ball. Okay, stand up. My question for you is, I have here a water. I want this water be changed, so how will you going to do and able to have a changes on this water? Very good, true. Freezing it. So, the water is a liquid. And if we freeze it, it will become very good, solid. And by that, let's give an approved clap to Francine. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Approve. Okay, class, let's continue.
Hey, science time, oh it's science time. I like it, I love it, I love my teacher too. Ready for the song in 1 or 2 or 3.
Okay, it's you, Kenneth, who got the coronavirus ball. Please stand up. Okay, so my question for you is, I have here a yeast, baking powder, flour, and chocolate powder. I want this be changed. So, how will you going to do and able to have a changes on this? Very good, true. Baking it. And by that, let's give an approved clap to Kenneth. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Approve. Okay, class, let's continue.
Then sit properly. Science is ready. Lessons are all new. All you have to do.
Okay, Joshua, you got the coronavirus ball. Please stand up. Oh, I like your hair, Joshua. You look so clean and neat. Okay, so my question for you is, I have here a piece of wood. I want this piece of wood be changed. So, how will you going to do and able to have a changes on it? Very good, by burning it. So the changes occurs when the wood burns and turn into ashes or smoke. Very good, Joshua. And because of that, let's give an approved clap to Joshua. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Approve. Okay, class, let's continue.
Listen to your teacher to learn something new. Hey, science time, oh it's science time. Be ready, it's more fun, more activities. Hey, science time, oh it's science time. I like it, I love it, I love my teacher too.
Okay, so the last lucky one goes to Marga. Okay, so stand up, Marga. My question for you is, I have here a candle. I want this candle be changed. So, how will you going to do and able to have a changes on this? Very good, by lighting it. So, when we light the candle, the size, shape, structure will be changed and also it will be vanish. Very good. Okay, so by that, let's give an approved clap to Marga. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Approve. Okay, class, thank you for your participation. At this point, we will have a group activity. Okay, class, I already grouped and assigned what you should bring for today's activity, right? Did you bring the materials? Great! Okay, so you will going to do is, the group 1 will conduct an experiment, while the group 2 will write an observation based from the experiment conducted by the group 1. Okay, understood? Okay, class, are you ready? Okay, so I will give you 15 minutes to conduct your activity. So the time starts now. Time's up. Okay, group 2, kindly post your cartolina here at the front. Okay, class, let's have an analyzation based on your activity. So the first one is cutting of paper. So class, what did you observe when you cut the paper? Very good. It changed the size and shape. So class, I have another question. Is it still a paper although you cut it? Very good. Yes, it is still a paper. The second one is bending of spoon. Okay, so what did you observe when you bent the spoon? Very good. It changed the shape and size. Okay, class. Is it still a spoon although you bent it? Very good. It is still a spoon. The third one is shredding of cheese. Okay, class. So what did you observe when you shred the cheese? Very good. It changed the size and shape. Okay, so class, is it still a cheese although you shred it? Very good. It is still a cheese. The last one is burning of paper. Okay, class, what have you observed when the paper is burning? Very good. It turns into ashes. Okay, class, I have another question. Is it possible to bring back the paper after burning it? Very good. No, absolutely no, because it already changed the substance and composition. So when we burn the paper, it will turn into ashes. In short, it will never bring back to its original form. Very good, class. You conducted correctly your activity. And because of that, give yourself an approved clap. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Approved. And now, class, who can tell me or who have an idea of what our lesson will be? Yes, Nikki? Very good. Our lesson for today is all about physical and chemical change. Now, class, are you ready to learn more and explore the wonderful and creative world of science? Let's go! Objectives. At the end of the lesson, a learner is expected to identify and compare physical and chemical change, value the importance of physical and chemical change as it gives a huge factor in our way of living, and draw an example of physical and chemical change that found at home. Vocabulary words. Physical change, no new substance is formed. Chemical change, a new substance is formed. Okay, class, so now let's discuss the physical and chemical change. So the first one is physical change. So what is this physical change? When we say physical change, it is a temporary change. There is no new substance is formed. And also, class, take note that it is reversible, meaning the original substance can be recovered. So we have here some actions that may result physical change. Squashing. Squashing is a collective term used to describe cutting, chopping, squeezing, folding, pressing, hammering, smashing, and tearing. This is a process that makes a material change its shape, size, and form. Class, remember that the change in the appearance like shape, size, and form without changing its composition is called physical change. Solids like the aluminized sheet can change their size and form because they are malleable. The aluminized sheet exhibit malleability, which means the ability of matter to be hammered and to be formed into thin sheets or any desired shapes without breaking the materials. Materials can also be ductile if they can be drawn, forming thin wires. Other solids can also change in size and shape by being stretched and compressed. Take note class that the rubber bands are not ductile but stretchable. Stretching is a change in length when the materials are made longer than the original size when a tension force is applied. Shearing or compressing is a change in length when a material is made shorter after applying a compressive force. The example here is a roll of cloth can be sheared to make table skirting. Another example of physical change is the mixing of sugar in water. When a sugar is dissolved in water, it seems to disappear completely. You will not see the particles of sugar in water. However, by heating the sugar solution and evaporating the water, the sugar can be recovered in its crystalline form. Physical change also involves a phase of matter. So class, do you still remember the 3 different phases of matter? Yes, Teresita? Very good. The 3 different phases of matter are solid, liquid, and gas. Very good. Take a look of this class. The water is liquid, and if we freeze it, it will become ice. Very good. So the phase of matter now is solid. And if we melt the ice, it will bring back to the liquid phase. And if we boil the water, it will evaporate the steam. And the steam is a gas phase of water. Later on in the atmosphere, the water vapor will go back to the liquid phase, which we call condensation. If the droplets will become bigger and will fall to the ground, this process called precipitation, whereas the water is back in a liquid form. What we describe class is the what? Who can guess it? Very good, the water cycle. And that's all for physical change. You should only remember class that in physical change, there is no new substance is formed. The second one is chemical change. So what is this chemical change? When we say chemical change, it is a permanent change. A new substance is formed. And take note class that it is irreversible, meaning the original substance cannot be recovered. So class, to further understand the chemical change, we have here some examples. So the first one is burning pieces of paper. When you burn a piece of paper, it produces ash and smoke. The piece of paper changed to a material called ash. The second one is heating sugar on a pan. When you heat sugar in a pan, you will see bubbles until no visible sugar can be seen in the pan anymore. Instead, you will see a piece of dry black substance called carbon. When the sugar is heated, the molecules break up. Some substances go into the air and the carbon is mainly left in the pan. The third one is rusting of iron. When you leave a piece of iron metal exposed in the air, it forms rust. Take note class that rusting is a chemical change in iron when it reacts with oxygen in the air. So the last example is spoiled leftover food. When you leave food on the table overnight, the food tends to decay. Gas is produced by the decayed food. It usually smells bad and tastes sour. And that's all for chemical change. So you should remember in chemical change class that there is a new substance is formed. So class, do you know that physical and chemical change may be harmful to or desirable for one's environment? It is very important to learn how these changes may positively or negatively affect our lives. And now, let's identify how physical and chemical change become useful and harmful. How can physical change become useful? The first one is freezing. Freezing enables us to store and preserve meats and other food for a certain period of time. Second, melting. Melting in metals happen in making molding cans and utensils. Do you know, class, that your toys are also molded by means of melting? Great! The third one is evaporation. Evaporation is an important stage of water cycle. Water-formed areas on Earth will not be recycled if they will not be evaporate and turn into water vapor to create clouds in the sky. It is a cooling process for the environment. At this point, let's determine the bad effects of physical change. The first one is evaporation. Evaporation can have bad effects too. Increased temperature can make crops wither and that may lead to drought. This could lessen the supply of food for the people and for the animals. The second one is condensation. Condensation could be a problem as well. Water molecules in the air stay inside the house throughout the day and can lead to mold growth, staining, and smelly air. This can also cause allergic reactions, skin irritations, and respiratory problems, including asthma. The third one is deposition. Deposition is a change of water directly from gas to solid. Deposits on the surfaces of monuments, metal signs, and other structures are evident if exposed to air for a long time. It can affect monuments and signages negatively. So those are the useful and harmful effects of physical change in environment. And now, let's identify the useful and harmful effect of chemical change. Uses of chemical change. Number 1. For humans and many animals, the most useful and important chemical change is the digestion of food. Food is chewed in the mouth and is broken down into simpler forms that the body easily absorbs. The second one is plants undergo a chemical reaction called photosynthesis to combine carbon dioxide and water to form glucose or sugar. This sugar becomes their food. Ripening of fruits also requires chemical change. Third, the food industry also makes use of chemical change to create many treats such as cheese and milk. And now, let's discover the harmful effects of changes in the environment. Scientists tried producing many useful substances and they were able to make materials that have greatly improved in people's lives. However, as more modern products and facilities are made through modern scientific process, the earth is at times negatively affected. So class, this is the end of our discussion. Did you learn something? Great! Okay, so if you truly understand our lesson well, I want you to answer my question. Okay, so my question is, who can give me an example of physical change? Yes, Catherine? Very good. Melting of ice. Another one. Yes, Liza? Very good. Cutting of paper. Another one. Yes, Julia? Very good. Tearing or shearing of clothes. Okay, how about chemical change? Who can give me an example of chemical change? Yes, Lisa? Very good. Burning of woods. Another one. Yes, Jenny? Very good. Rusting of iron. Another one. Yes, Rose? Very good. Spoiled leftover food. Okay, so how about the useful effect of physical change? Who can give me one? Yes, Eileen? Very good. How about the bad effects of physical change? Who can give me one? Yes, Camila? Very good. Okay, so let's move to the uses of chemical change. Who can give me one? Yes, Berto? Very good. Okay, class, and now who can tell me the harmful effects of the changes in environment? Yes, Mark? Very good. And now, let's have a generalization. So, who can generalize our lesson for today? Yes, Benedicts? Very good. Our lesson for today is all about physical and chemical change. When we say physical change, it is a temporary change. There is no new substance is formed and it is reversible. However, when we say chemical change, it is a permanent change. There is a new substance is formed and it is irreversible. This physical and chemical change can bring useful and harmful consequences in our environment. Very good. So class, why do you think it is important to learn physical and chemical change? Yes, Althea? Very good. Physical and chemical change affects our way of living. These two changes constantly happen in our surroundings. The way we eat an ice cream, we cut the paper, and burn the woods has an involvement of physical and chemical change. Very good. Okay, class, I'm so happy because your answers are all correct. And it seems like you truly understand our lesson well. And because of that, give yourself an approve clap. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, approve. And this time, we will have a drawing activity. So class, I want you to get your drawing book. And you will going to do is draw 5 examples of physical change and 5 examples of chemical change that found at home. I will give you 10 minutes in your drawing activity. Okay class, time's up. Pass your drawing book at the front. For your evaluation class, I want you to get a whole sheet of paper and answer this quietly. Understood? Okay, so I will give you 15 minutes to answer this. Okay class, very good. 98% of you got the perfect score. And because of that, give yourself a round of applause. Class, I'm so very happy because you truly understand our lesson well. For your assignment class, together with your parents, I want you to watch an informative video came from internet about mixture. Understood? Okay, so that's all class. Goodbye! And remember, always smile.